Hello everyone, and good evening, and welcome to our webinar here at 6:30 p.m. in San Diego, California. Right now we are running these webinars twice a day, 2:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. because a lot of people are coming on now. They want to know what's happening with this blue chip income system that is like a rocket ship that's creating tremendous amount of interest. The person that invited you to this particular webinar thought enough of you wanting you to have this particular information. It probably told you that we are leveraging the new alliance platform of Microsoft, Intel, Citibank, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Toyota, Amazon, many other companies that have gotten together, and they form what they call the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance to really put their business to the next level, to get involved in the industry of cryptocurrency, which is going to the next level. And they're bringing a brand new layer of opportunity for us that is very, very valuable. We're also working with our company specifically. It's owned by the former president of Kia Motors of America. This is the man that set up 800 different automobile dealerships around the United States. And he kind of left the industry to actually do this. Obviously, he found it a lot more profitable. So I'm really happy to be the one to give you this information. My name is Riccardo Ferrari. In my former life, I used to be a naval engineer. For years of my life, I worked as an officer on cruise ships in the maritime industry. And then about 30 years ago, I decided to kind of stop that profession, jump out of the corporate world. And now I've been involved in the direct marketing industry. About 28 years full-time now, very successful, is the #1 income earner in 5 major multi-$100 million direct marketing companies. I recently went to visit this particular company up in Los Angeles, California, Wilshire Boulevard, and I was very impressed by meeting the owners, asking a lot of questions, and obviously got very, very excited and got going immediately. A lot of us top leadership in the industry are kind of pausing what we're doing right now to take care of this, because this is probably not going to happen ever again. So I'm going to share a screen with you guys. I'm going to share some important information. I'm going to introduce you to a company, and also I'm going to introduce you to an entity. The company is MiningMax, the company we're working with, and the platform that I was mentioning is called Ethereum. Ethereum is a rocket ship that is going to change a lot of the dynamics in the world of business and also in the world of finances. And this is something to really, really pay attention to. And so you understand the power of this a little better, I want to give you some correlations and some numbers so you understand exactly what's happening in the financial industry and why what we're doing is very valuable. If you look at the dollar, for example, just since 2009, 8 years ago, has lost 14.7% of its value. Now, since 9/11, lost about 41% of its value. So this is like a rocket ship on its way down. The financial industry is worried about it. You and I are worried about it. Everyone is going to wonder what's going to happen when it gets to zero, right? Well, the reason is you can print as many dollars as you want, and they're very cheap, right? So there is no value to it. The US government is printing about $1 billion every day right now. So there are going to be some shifts and some changes in the in the future years that are very, very significant, and possibly we're not going to be working with the dollar for too long. If you look at gold, in the last 8 years, it only gained 15.5%. Gold is good if you can buy a lot of them, if you can hang in there for 10 or 20 years with it. It's always been a staple asset, definitely worth to have as much as you can. And then you've got real estate. Real estate gained 2% to 11%. Which is really not an awful lot of money. But if you zoom out and you look at it in the last 10 years, because real estate works in bubbles, right? So when the bubble is up, you're happy. When the bubble is down, you're not happy. So actually in the last 10 years, it lost anywhere between 2% and 17% in 20 states. And it also gained 2% to 38% in another 30 states. And in a period of time of 10 years, I don't believe that that's really that significant. So these mediums right now, they're not as valuable as a lot of people want to make you believe. There are other dynamics that are happening in the financial industry that are a lot more powerful. One of them is cryptocurrency. I mean, look at what happened to Bitcoin. It started in 2009. In 2011, it went at parity with the dollar, was worth $1. And then in June in 2017, just maybe a week ago, it was worth about $2,560. I think today it's worth about $2,700 or something like that. But overall, it gained about 2,560% of its value in 6 years. So if you compare with the other mediums that I just showed you, there is absolutely no comparison by any stretch of the imagination. So if you purchase 5,000 Bitcoins in 2009, would have cost you about $27. Today, you would have $12,500,000. And even if you purchase it for $5,000 in 2011, you still would have made a tremendous amount of money. So this is really worth to pay attention to, guys, because there are going to be other currencies that are potentially going to do as well, or are actually bigger than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin was only the beginning, but now the world is embracing cryptocurrency. The big guys are coming into it, and things are going to the next level, and that's what Ethereum is. Ethereum, we believe, is the next big deal in cryptocurrency. It went live in 2015. In February 2017 was worth $11, and then in June, just a few months after that, was worth $370. So it gained 370% of its value in 4 months. So if you purchased 100 Ethers in February 2017 for $1,100, now you would have $37,000 in the bank. Imagine if you purchased $10,000 worth of, you will have nearly $370,000 in just a few months. So for those of us who are entrepreneurs looking for freedom and residual income, we can no longer ignore what's happening in this industry. And I can tell you that what's happening with Ethereum is probably going to happen with other currencies as well. And in this webinar, I'm going to teach you how to capitalize on all of it from the very, very top of the food chain, not the middle, not the bottom, but the very, very top. So there are 2 blue chip currency on the market right now that have 90% of the market. That is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then 10% is about alternate coins, which are approximately 700 of them in the market, and they are publicly exchanged at CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap.com is the NASDAQ of cryptocurrency. You can monitor the values on a daily basis and decide when to buy and when to sell. And we do not deal with anything that is not on public blockchains, because when the moment you attach this stuff to direct marketing, a lot of it becomes illegal. So we got to be very, very legally sensitive. I have done a tremendous amount of investigation on the legal end of it in this, and I can tell you that I don't want any part of coins that are not publicly traded. And consequently, we're looking at blue chips right now, and maybe from the alternative coin stack, there are going to be some of them that are going to mature and come into blue chip sphere. We're going to be right there capitalizing on them. You can be assured of that. So this is CoinMarketCap.com. You can monitor the values. Bitcoin is #1 in the world. Ethereum is #2. At the time of the shot, it was $275. Now it's around $350, or hovering around that kind of an amount. And if we put the 2 platforms side by side, Bitcoin started in 2009. It's an anonymous ownership. Nobody knows who owns it. Nobody knows the programmer. It was meant to be that way in the beginning. And although it gained respectability in the marketplace, right now it's hovering around 26, 27, 29. I've seen it at 3,000. And that's the value of Bitcoin right now. So it is a tremendous story. A lot of people made a lot of money. It is endorsed and recommended by governments, by high figures like Richard Branson and Bill Gates and Forbes and so on and so forth. And but it's still an anonymous platform. It has a hard coin supply cap of 21 million, because cryptocurrency works just like a gold mine or a silver mine or a diamond mine. In other words, no mine is unlimited, and that's why precious metals have a tendency to appreciate rather than depreciate. And consequently, if we want to have a currency that is not subject to depreciation, but just fluctuation, unlike the dollars that is plummeting down so fast, then it has to have a cap. And Bitcoin, the size of that mine, to put it that way, is 21 million. Also, it increased already by 90,000%. That doesn't mean that it's the end of Bitcoin, but we are not certainly at the beginning. It's only digital currency. It's a limited platform to a peer-to-peer transaction. I send you 10 Bitcoin, you send Mary 10 Bitcoins, and Mary send Joe 10 Bitcoins. It's a peer-to-peer transaction, monofunctional platform. It's not upgradable. Also, it's no longer easy or profitable to mine, meaning you're out of the windows of time in order for you to mine Bitcoin and be at the top of the food chain. In other words, if there is a mountain there, right, that you can see from your house that is full of gold, why don't you want to walk there and get it instead of buy it on the market? And consequently, mining is really where you want to be, but with Bitcoin, it's now over. You can buy Bitcoin, you can keep it, let it evaluate, and eventually, I believe Bitcoin eventually is going to be worth $100,000, $200,000. But you're out of the money, you're out of the top of the food chain. Also, Bitcoin is having difficulty scaling because each Bitcoin block, which is a series of transactions all put together, we call them a block, is only 1 megabyte limit. Now, if you contrast that with the Ethereum platform, Ethereum started in June of 2014. It was formally announced by Vitalik Buterin at the North America Bitcoin Conference in Miami. Vitalik Buterin is a genius polymath. He's a kid. Right now, he has the attention of governments, banks, and many, many other businesses around the world. And you need to study this man because he's just an amazing, amazing individual, and he's got world attention right now. He's also the owner of Bitcoin magazine, and he saw the limitations of Bitcoin. He also saw the new demands of the business world, and consequently, he decided not to tamper with Bitcoin, but start a brand new platform that will do many, many other things. The hard coin supply of Ethereum is 92 million, so it's a bigger mine. It's growing about twice faster than Bitcoin percentage-wise. And also, not only is it a digital currency that we can mine, we can buy and make money with, but it's also a multifunctional financial and transactional platform with a brand new blockchain design. And not only does cryptocurrency, but it does thousands of other applications that can really help all kinds of businesses like government, banking, medical, real estate, insurance, and many, many other type of businesses. And that's why people like Microsoft, Intel, IBM, Amazon, Toyota, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citibank, and 22 other blue chip companies jumped on the Ethereum platform because of its value. And now they're doing all kinds of things with it because this particular blockchain design is destined to replace what you know of it as the database that your banking computer is running on, which is a mono unit that does everything from there, protected by different firewalls. That is becoming archaic. The world doesn't want it anymore. It's very difficult to make transactions. It's slow. It's very costly. The world is very regulated by governments, and consequently, the world is moving away from database, is going blockchain, but not Bitcoin blockchain because it's very limited. It's going into the Ethereum. Ethereum has a smart contract technology that uses blockchain applications for contract negotiations, management, payout, and so on and so forth. And we're going to teach about that in training. I don't want to spend a lot of time right now because I'm just setting up the stage to see what's in it for you. Obviously, you and I are not running a global company like Amazon, but by getting involved with Ethereum right now, with the presence of this guy, it's all about supply and demand and market attention. And consequently, we really need to pay attention to what's going on. Now, the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, that's what they have formed in order to run their businesses and also show other people how to run a better business with a brand new type of blockchain. And this blockchain was just announced in February 2017 that Microsoft has added this type of blockchain to the Azure platform. The Azure platform, Microsoft, is where they design, test, deploy, and launch all of their applications. So this is the type of an announcement in the programming world and financial world that they say it will be remembered as the moment when the blockchain technology became mainstream with Ethereum at the center of it, meaning eventually Bitcoin will be the Model T of cryptocurrency. They have a very respectable start, but the world is moving on in a different direction. Now, before I tell you about our particular program, I also want you to know that we are a totally different animal of what you see on the internet. On the internet right now, you see a lot of direct marketing companies, and they have all this hype talk about Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. They attach a lot of hype, a lot of big figures, a lot of information. And then when you look into the meat and potatoes of those programs, most of them are not legal. They don't meet SEC and FTC regulations. They have worthless educational programs that are free on the internet that the FTC doesn't even consider them a valuable product according to their new rules. Bitcoin doublers, I've never seen one that can actually show me how they invest my money to double my Bitcoin. Most of them are Ponzi's. Then you have trading programs that have the potential to be very legitimate, but I haven't seen one that can show me where they do the trades and how they can make me money if I join them. and it's all driven by memberships and by other income streams attached to it that make them very legally sensitive. I want to just caution you about that. Mining, on the other hand, is a legitimate way to earn cryptocurrency, because mining is a service that you provide with the computer to the blockchain, and the blockchain rewards you with coins. In other words, you're not making an investment, you're making a purchase, you're buying a machine or you're buying a service, and also you're getting a reward, and consequently it enters a legal sphere that is totally different than what you see on the internet in the direct marketing type of programs. However, with mining, you've got timing is very important, because you have to be early in the coins, right? You don't want to be at the tail end, you want to be at the beginning. And also you need the right equipment, the right company, and the right service. Mining is not a do-it-yourself deal. It must be cost-effective. In other words, the most expensive things in mining is maintaining a data center. The electricity is excruciating, because these machines are running, very expensive hardware that takes a lot of electricity to run. Also, they run very, very hot, so you got to put them in a place where they have to be cooled. There is a lot to it. It also must be fast, okay? They got to have a certain type of hash power. They have to have a certain amount of video cards. They have to have certain size of GPUs, and consequently, these machines have to be constructed in a certain way. It must be large scale. Mining on a small scale really doesn't work, is not that profitable. Also must be multi-currency. Don't ever buy a machine that is stuck to one particular blockchain. You want to be able to change blockchain, because if there is a new coin that comes on the radar on the public exchange, you may want to be able to mine that and be able to capitalize. You also must have analytical, so you understand when to hold, when to fold, when to go, and when to stay. And also must be upgradable, because technology changes every 2 years, just like your cell phone does. And consequently, as technology moves up, as these machines become faster and better, you want to deal with a company that knows how to upgrade it without charging you a fortune. And also, they must be well managed and must have group mining. Group mining is very, very important. I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. And that is exactly what our company does. MiningMax is the largest mining operation in the world, although it was just started 11 months ago as of the making of this webinar in middle of June here, 2017. This mining operation is located in Seoul, South Korea, for a very specific reason. In Seoul, South Korea, electricity is almost nothing, and these machines take a lot of it. So they have the cost effectiveness to really run high capacity machines. These are the Cadillacs of high speed machines, the latest technology possible being by Samsung and LG. They have access to scientists and technicians. They can maintain them. If they break down, they put them back online right away. They have very little downtime, very, very efficient. And also labor is cheaper over there. Technology is very, very advanced. You have big companies like Samsung and LG, so obviously you know those companies very well. And consequently, there are a lot of components that make our company very, very valuable in the mining business. And most of all, it's not an underground company that is someplace in some kind of a basement, and we don't know who they are when we check them out on the internet. You can actually visit this company when you actually qualify for certain positions in our compensation system. They pay you for a free trip to go there, and I'm going to show you some photographs in just a second. Now, you can own one machine or as many as 100. We have a limit of 100 right now, and each machine is going to produce cashable, saleable, tradable cryptocurrency every week, and I'm going to show the numbers that we've been doing in just a second. Now, these are some shots of the operation. That is the building where the machines are held. It's a level 3 style facility. It's a very particular facility, the same time where banks are actually hosting their servers. They have security. It's earthquake proof. It's hurricane proof. It has cooling systems that are very powerful. It's a data center that is very, very substantial. And when you buy a machine from MiningMax, they don't ship it to you. You actually keep it there on consignment so they can run it, and it will produce cryptocurrency for you automatically. You're going to receive the certificate of ownership, and then you're going to sign a 2 years consignment agreement. And then after 2 years, you may have to do an upgrade, because these machines have to be upgraded in order to keep the efficiencies of mining at the maximum profit. This company does three things very, very well. They do machine management in the internet data center. Also, they constantly analyze the current market, and they can tell you what to mine, what not to mine, and what to get out of and what to get into, and consequently, they provide a very valuable service. Also, they do group mining. Group mining is very important. You're going to find out the more you study this industry, the more mining machines are out there in the particular cryptocurrency, the more efficient the mining becomes. And also, by working synergistically, all these machines, they can make each individual machine much more productive. So this is not a do-it-yourself deal. And this company is actually, in my opinion, the top of the world in the mining business. It's owned by a man called Daniel Park. He was a former consultant for the Korean government, the Korean bank, and also he was the former president of Kia Motors of America. This is a man that expanded mega companies all the way around the world. This company is located in Los Angeles. The headquarters is in Los Angeles. It's a U.S. company. However, the center, the mining center, is in South Korea for the reason that I told you. And one of the things that he had discovered in expanding companies globally is that the payment system are archaic, the banking system with the lack of speed, tremendous high fees. Basically, they needed to move on. Cryptocurrency is really becoming the way to move money around the world. So he devised a cryptocurrency solution and then turned it into a global pay system. And then he started running on Ethereum for the reasons that I just told you before. And then eventually he decided to start the mining operation and start an internet data center and start mass mining in Seoul, South Korea. And right now, to date, this company has about 40,000 machines that they have sold to both customers and reps. We only have 1,500 reps. So look at that number, 1,500 reps, 40,000 machines, meaning reps buy more than one machine. And also there are a lot of customers that are not involved in the business opportunity that are buying these machines from all walks of life, and also entities like banks or CPA firms or lawyers, accountants, and also people like you and I, everyday people like you and I. So that is a very, very healthy ratio, a lot more customers than actually representatives, which makes the FTC very, very happy. This is a shot that I took as he was speaking not too long ago when I went to Los Angeles, and on the right, that's the master distributor that in master distributorship standards, she's earning 10 times more than top master distributors in the industry in just 11 months, which tells me two things. Number one, she's a very hardworking Korean lady, but also the numbers, the way the numbers work in this particular income system are totally off the chart compared to the normal direct marketing numbers, and you're going to see that in just a second. Now, for you and I, it's going to be very simple. We buy a machine or a number of machines, we make money, and then we cash the currency or keep it, and money arrives on a daily basis. And then we have a program also you can tell other people. We have a direct sale program, and also we have a viral marketing, dual team marketing program that you can leverage an entire organization as we do in direct marketing. So this is how the numbers break down. The number one way of making money in our company is through mining profits. This is perfect for people that just want to make money and use this machine. They don't want to talk to people. They want to get involved in sales or in talking to anyone. This is perfect for a lot of people, especially in our industry where the failure rate is 95%. And one machine costs you $3,200. You keep 60% of the mining profits, then 40% stays with the company for service, maintenance, accounting, overrides, and the global mining shares. And right now, the machines are running $800 to $1,200 per month, and that is your 60% portion. And they're running right now at an average of $1,100, sometime more, sometime less. And I can only tell you what they're doing at the present times or what they've done in the past. This is not an ROI type of promise. That would be illegal. We're not going to do it on a presentation like this. But these machines have been stable. We have a lot of information that puts us very much on the comfort zone that we can be with this company for a long time. Obviously, there is a timing in mining a certain coin before it becomes more difficult. And then we may have to jump into another coin every year, every 2 years or something like that. But this is a machine that you can own for a long time that will always, always produce a cryptocurrency. Now, if you consider the $3,200 in the bank make you $32 a year, if it's a US bank, if it's a European bank, it makes you nothing. They don't give you any money. So if you have $32,000 in the bank, it's making you what, $320 a year at 1%. And if you give the money to some broker to reinvest it, they can make you what, 3 or 4%. And if they make you more, it becomes a little high risk, meaning you're not going to sleep at night. So no matter what this machine is going to produce, it's a lot better than a lot of other things out there. So this is really a very good idea, and that's why this company is exploding for this very mechanism. And I would say that 70% of the people that I'm personally bringing in are buying more than one machine. So it's amazing. People that normally wouldn't find $100 for a vitamin program or skincare or travel or whatever out there, all of a sudden they want to come in with 5 or 6 machines. Mind-boggling what's happening, guys. The second way of making money is through direct sales. You can sell machines to other people. Yesterday, I sold one to my gardener. I would have never known that my gardener was in a position to buy a machine. The other day, I sponsored a nanny. My daughter is buying 30 machines. I am kind of recruiting people in the direct marketing industry. 1 machine, 2 machines, 3 machines, 10 machines, not uncommon. So you sell 1 machine, you make $200 one time. That's your direct sales commission on 1 machine on the hardware. And then sell 5 machines, you make $1,000. Sell 10 machines, you make $2,000. Just as simple as that. Your money is going to arrive daily in real time in your back office. Your machine is going to go online in approximately 15 days since the moment that you pay for it. And then you can monitor your cryptocurrency gains right here at a glance. And also you can monitor your sales and also the daily pay that exists in the dual team. In the dual team, we have daily pay and monthly pay. All the daily bonuses, you can see them right here. So this is your daily income at a glance. Now, if you're one of these people, and if you just want to stay with the mining cryptocurrency, earn that way through several machines, and you also want to just talk to some people out there, you don't have to give a fancy presentation. Just mention what you're doing lightly, and you'll see people are going to want to take you for coffee. I mean, this is something that I would have never imagined, that the interest out there is at an all-time high right now. Pretty much everyone knows about cryptocurrency and they want to know more about it. Now, if you are the type of person like myself, for example, that loves to build organizations, my smallest one in my career was 30,000 people. My largest one was 400,000. So I know what it is to really benefit from leveraged income for large organizations. Very, very exciting. We have a dual team compensation system that pays you $140 a day per cycle. You can cycle in unlimited amounts of times, all the way to $10,000 cap per day based on your qualification. The cap starts a little sooner than $10,000, but eventually you can qualify for the $10,000 cap because these lineages have a tendency to run away all over the world to unlimited depth. So at one point, I have to be capped. And that's a very exciting bonus. The dual team compensation plans have proven to be the most profitable in our industry since the last 20 years. This company has done a model that is very, very profitable. Also, we have matching bonuses. As you personally build a personally enrolled tree, right? So if you sponsor a person, sponsor another, and sponsor another one, eventually that will go down, and this company pays you 5% on 10 generation of their earnings in the dual team system. And matching bonuses don't have a cap, and a lot of the times are bigger than the cycles. And consequently, those two bonuses working synergistically, they can be extremely profitable, especially in a runaway program like this one. And then you have the group miner bonus. This is what changing the ball game in direct marketing. Direct marketing has a huge problem. It's called attrition. And I don't care what these companies are telling you. Every company out there tells you that they have a retention rate of 80%, right? Whether it's a travel company, financial company, vitamin company, juice company, or skincare companies, most of them are lying. The retention rate is about 10 to 20%. Very rarely I met a company that can prove retention rate and also can prove the 55% customer rule that now the FTC wants. And so there is a lot of turmoil in the industry that a lot of people no longer trust. Now, if you can override 7% of every single machine you're downline, whether you're overriding 10 or 100 or 1,000 or 10,000, these machines, they never come offline. There is no monthly fee. There is no auto ship here. And consequently, once that machine is in the data center, no one is going to take it down. This is what I call different, okay? This is what I call 100% retention. And that's what makes this business very, very valuable. Maybe that's why Sunny Sung, the master distributor of this company, overriding 40,000 machine, runs 10 times more than anyone else in the master distributor position in the industry of direct marketing. So that bonus, it's kind of like a lose sleep type of bonus. When I have as many machines in your organization as possible, so you can earn out of yours and you can earn out out of a large organization of machines in your team. That's very, very exciting. And then we have a global mining sharing pool, which is 3%. You can qualify for a portion of that, another exciting bonus. So if we recap, folks, what you have here, we are in an explosive industry. You know what the dollar is doing, you know what gold is doing. It's like watching the paint dry, and now real estate bubble up, bubble down. You never know whether you're gonna make money or lose money. This is an explosive industry that has a lot of attention from anything from general population to banking people to to people that really know financing. We are also working with a company with the most advanced technology in the world in the mining business. We're running 6-way machines right now with high-powered GPUs, 150 hash power. For those of you who understand those terms, incredible stuff. Also, we're dealing with a company with very credible ownership. And also, you can earn without selling or without recruiting. I know a lot of you would really love that for a change. It's available here. It's not available in other systems. You can also earn indirect sales just by, talking to people. Even though you don't have to be a high-power marketer, you don't have to have systems. Just by talking to people generically, okay? You could make anywhere between $200 a day to $1,000 a day based on how often you do it. And if you want to go all the way and earn in the viral marketing dual team system with the team commissions, the bonuses, and the pools, then you can go all the way with our company and reach for the star. It's available to you. Most of all, guys, I love this phrase, continuous profit generation. We can go into the future with this company. Right now, we're concentrating on Ethereum, or in the next coin, and maybe mine other one someplace along the way. But this is a very, very exciting time. So I want to encourage you to get in touch with the person who gave you this webinar. Ask all the questions. We can send you all kinds of links, due diligence files, a bio on Daniel Park. We can send you these slides for you to kind of look over and get some more information. My recommendation to get involved as soon as possible, because again, mining is for early adopters that are early in the coins. Start working with us today. Call back the person who gave you this presentation, and I'll see you next time.